It's actually just drizzling. It said the weather was supposed to be cloudy today. I thought I could get away with just flying the drone a bit, but I guess not unless it magically stops. Although one funny thing was I was checking the drone because, like I said, I'm actually wondering more about the battery. It's been idle for so many days. I thought it would discharge by now. It's actually still fully charged. Seems like all the stories I read today deals with, I guess, people using drones in bad ways. I guess you could say, at least that's what the claims are. And what if you want to like take it down or something like that? That's usually a topic as well too, right? Well, this one here says Chinese pig farm jams drone of crooks spreading African swine fever. Criminals drop contaminated pork products as part of a racket to profit from the health scare. One of China's biggest animal feed producers said it had used a radio transmitter to combat crooks using drones to drop pork products contaminated with African swine fever on its pig farms, a part of the racket to profit from the health scare. In July, the country's agriculture minister said criminal gangs were faking outbreaks of swine fever on farms and forcing farmers to sell their healthy pigs at sharply lower prices. A state-backed news website, The Paper, reported Thursday that a pig farming unit of Beijing Dabanong Technology Group had run afoul of the Regional Aviation Authority as its transmitter had disrupted the GPS signal in the area. So how's that, huh? You want to protect, I guess, your own property and stuff. They use the signal jammers and stuff, and it basically affected everything else as well, which made me wonder, again, how those drone jammers and stuff would work in the long run. It says the pig farming unit in Heilongjiang province had unwittingly violated civil aviation rules. It says, quote, our unit in Heilongjiang province to prevent external people from using drones to drop pork with African swine fever virus violated regulations by using drone control equipment set, the company said. We broke related radio regulations, although that was unintentional, adding that it has surrendered the equipment to the authorities and is willing to accept penalty. I know in various parts of the world you can't take a drone down because it's essentially treated like a regular aircraft, the same ones that you would see flying passengers and all that. So it's kind of interesting in this case where if you want to jam the signal of the drone, it'll basically affect everything else as well. I guess the other interesting thing about the article is how many times when there's money involved, there's going to be people trying to create artificial hysteria, right? Like in this case, because at the end of the day, someone's trying to profit from it. And on the topic of drone spying, the other thing I read today was kind of interesting because usually when you read stories like this, there's no video evidence or anything like that. Well, in this case, apparently there was. It says, Kamloops woman spots sneaky drone watching her from her window. We all know of the classic and creepy peeping toms, but with new technology comes even more unsettling ways you could have your privacy violated, as one Kamloops woman discovered recently. Dominique Mburi was relaxing at home in the evening of December 18th and she noticed something was spying on her and she called for her housemates. I was sitting on the couch texting on my phone, doing whatever, and I looked up. I was like, there's a drone staring at me through the living room window. So my boyfriend comes out rushing and he's like, what are you talking about? There's nothing there, because it had flown away. She saw a small black drone with green and red lights which took off as soon as she spotted it. Embry's roommate yelled to the couple that the drone had flown by another window, but when they went outside to check, it was gone. Embry has video surveillance cameras on her home and the trio rushed to check the footage. The drone had come by their house, hovered near each of their vehicles, and took off to the end of the street. It returned, hovered near the vehicles again at the license plate level, and then watched Embry in her living room for nearly 2 minutes. So there was definitely something there, I guess you could say, although it makes me wonder, what was it? Because it looks like it was something flying, obviously. But the shape of the drone and everything like that with the light, it didn't look like anything that was like a DJI, for example. And by the size of it, again, just based on the light of that video, it almost looked as small as the mirrors on the side of the car. Almost reminds me of one of those racing drones that people fly for fun. Although maybe someone else can kind of guess what that could potentially be. It says, Embry says she fears it could be a tactic used by thieves or other questionable characters. And it said, we asked the neighbors beside us because he's got a couple of girls and we thought maybe they got an early Christmas present. We called them and it wasn't him. I guess a good thing by the sounds of it was they're kind of open-minded about the tech in general. It says Embry has a few cheap drones without cameras that they fly around their house for fun, but noticing a stranger's drone with a camera made her uneasy. The group was confused by the fact that the drone left and returned, and not being able to see a pilot nearby was unsettling. Saying, quote, I have no issues with people flying drones. They're fun, they're cool. We play with our little ones and whatnot. It's just a little creepy that you can't see anyone outside flying it and it was night outside our living room window. I mean, generally speaking, you shouldn't fly it right up to someone's property like that if the person was spying and all that stuff. Although it makes you wonder too, in that case, it looked like it's pitch black and stuff outside just based on the time. What could you actually see, like with any of the drones, so to speak, like at that time of the night, trying to fly the thing and all that? I guess with topics like that, it raises the question, what else could it be? And at the same time, should people have a right to take it out, so to speak, if they find it's on their personal property in that way? And nope, doesn't look like the rain is stopping. I guess it's the archive, huh? Alright, see you guys later.